lawyer Charles Juana ebeba betnase na Ghana in Samaura ekoso ewe yema house no yede no edi ehu enkomo including the National Cathedral afi enene yes National Secretariat ye gu no de hu kro de benjina dey medenam social media ena be kopie eye Franklin Kujo the war na Franklin Kujo de odim say enkomo aba bia de odo de oni sa enkomo no bio and the LGBT enkomo a picture ewe yema mu ha da bia be kasa Franklin Kujo bi hu say we di LGBT enkomo da the boy Nkansah be boy LGBT enkomo Franklin Kujo ka bi da ewa asase so ya na ebi no mo keke kanema bi allegedly say sikadi bi no kura sponsors no ibi free baby no mo sponsor Franklin Kujo ye hu say waka LGBT nkomo no nka bi da be boy no de on be kan kire me say we dis nkomo ni bi da but ye dis LGBT nkomo and the fuel prices ha ebu pagya nyina no and Franklin Kujo on the National Cathedral nkomo ena osi obedi enti and benenam social media bedam Facebook and we say we post to National Cathedral nkomo bi ewo eye Facebook but ya mencha de and then ya pepe lawyer etnasi ya maybe we will deal with that na ye the nkomo briefly so ewo jubedie so alongside nkomo aka enti me monitor because then the show is packed what you say said you bet we cover a year and some dodo na for your information the air cost to President Mahama every France aba on the yomo President Macron ekoye meeting na waba make us say 3 o'clock ya President Mahama was in Russia Ukraine and only the emfa Ghana hono and then the efa the power and then US Israel Iran and Tokwada SCM President Mahama a force no am free France aba make us say obo emergency cabinet meeting asama nka we de nka US ni Iran ni Russia and Tokwada US Iran and Israel Tokwada efa President Mahama ho be ene omo na force na omo hyedem cabinet meeting omo ya cabinet meeting no nka we de thousands of kilometers away but ene wa hu say asem bisi obi man so a etube be kan etiene on the 19 member cabinet obu gina hyedem a omo meeting ni mu odey pa taxes no levies no anasa be kan say margins no omo yibi every so ana one city dumso levy no minority kono so omo free so na dumso levy de dumso levy free fa fango bo koso e dumso levy na enei NDC for omwa ne kofa bai ene dumso levy no be ye free so anasa still maintain omo bema akem ya chain ye be free them on maba you say emergency cabinet meeting o be ka no kre ase bi si obi bai so abu say yes and na ochiaka na hyewa ejane hyewa wa obeba etie no mo ye cabinet meeting and the kind of we atansensem so ewo ho na menko otwea nchen na yakoba afi ye de ubewura ensema akadi nyinamo and in meantime in between time Alex ewo hado ede awia yumre na ye ba be di otwea herbal powder ho enkomo na otwea herbal powder fo ekopie mu ewo kwawu omo ekobi na we show chia herbal powder and enye kwawu anka bidim so omo dancers na Alex akogine di be ba kwa ba bi ne be ma
over meje so enenu
na we
radi gusu abasani do sikuta yumusa berene wum
ai bia bi husa wabre
last week aka ma me course e buy ewuntu
na otwa dancers no ka won so biara
dey be of income
that is so bu ayi say that ya professor Dambalis
otwa dancers dey omi superb me say
wa kokou
yeah
wa ko tom ho okwa aba
easy kwa unu na massive nyema bibiri na course
sanya man ba kuma mienu ya
wofa
ba fwa ji otwea da tu
ma me na nkwatiafo ase kwa wati bie kwa nkwatia tafo tese me bobo ampraye so mi nkura meja ewu obome tese ba bia kwa udie otwea na hita ba bia na ma me nchia ye ma me bi fie bi ekosi mu ewo kwa nkwatia ho anti salo David House of David Hotel ante selo ene ne ma no ne nananom de mo ye ni so pa nyame wonhyira mo muntiness ye se aginem because na ni je ye feel say ye sa wo fie pepepe na nika bibia course kama pa ofa mamemfa enchia ma adofo ene atiefo nyina menim se nipa bebre no afie nanso so aduru ne de momfe adenjira momfe wo pharmacy shop wo herbal shop over the counter bia Ghana ha ubowura ho ubenya otwea herbal pada ne bi ato Divine Hope Herbal Center ana akofa saa aduru nwanso aba we purely herbal organic chemical bia enim yen ya yen haban enubna enua nkuhini ene enua ne ahodo ne yakeka boma yedi aye otwea herbal pada no we pada sei ene tie na wonu ma de ohia ye nsu a de ana se wonya nsu hia eno na wode benum yade bi a wode sa no anopa wobenum baako amame na enumere so wanom baako nti da bia no wobeteki mienu na amame aduro ne ye otwea heba pada Divine Hope Herbal Center ya so ye kase no ewo kumase hamakru abusuakuru wajanshi de ho kumase aburo senum no eho na otwea heba pada ya so ye Divine Hope Herbal Center no ye butu ti opebi ana say upese utom bi pharmacy shop herbal shop over the counter na so upese utubia number see good screens yi no emu bia obefre no ebenya adaje agebre na wo so wanya bi na bia mentimi am ya de no so ofa number see a me kasa sesi a no betima free na ya kire location no ene kwan a obefa so a obenum otwea herbal pada no amayen otwea herbal pada de yetumofo say yakwa no mu ka wo se yetie enkyerɛkyerɛ amode ma ye directives amode ma ye no enne amame yade ma me bi wo ofro bepo na kredi kan me refi kroidin nursing training bi ho kwaw atibie ma me ni dia danse bi abra ne yakɔ ranse refi ni na me ne se wa yare ne sugar level no kosoro mfie bebre nso wurade tumi na ho ne wo se ne baby hwɛ me wo wuntumi he ya ene wodi akire ekoto bi wo nkokɔ ma me akobam ho enne wakasha wurade ni munyam onom box ba ku wie no wo se hospital bi wo 31st clinic hospital no call in a doctor na saka chiri say we sugar free da already nyankopon say we ni adanse akese a ba wotwea hebas pada ya so ye nti wodofo say wotimen kan numbers no eye miensa enu eni good screens no so no fa na wo so efrey na yentwetwe nkomo na eduro yo pemfo a wonum bi saa so na aya akwada wonya mfie dumienu ekoso a wonum bi enyeyi o ma akwada no fo wonum bi enyeyi na emum wa sisiyade haw sisiyade etewo so na etetewo wogye wo ho a enye sisi yade nti wo se wo sisi enu a ne beku obi froka wasi mate mesra unsom na wompia sebe meto kakra emame ni nyina ne se ne sisi no asuga adonku achim orofo una wonya wotwea heba pada tibi nsu hie mu anopa baako utigum na wono mame na enumere woto aso de saa mame a achaye na wotwe miensa sisi yade a ete wo so a etete wo no na afei agya no agina brane ama me so oba ada bema kwanya wo sisi yade ne fa so ba ye ne de yen enye problem ni nyina ne se wo benya wotwea heba pada ne bi se wo de no enam yade e na akofa ba obi de no sebe eyenyini na akofa sisi yade na ba obi ye adwumade ne sisi agi ne twi ebesi ne sisi yade aye kwankora ete ne so obi sisi yade ye abusua yade ye fie de wonya mfie aduane enum mfie aduanum ekwa na sisie no ahyase echi sebe me kase wonante a enipadua ne etie no wo bebia hwe na ase no so wo bebia echimagu odofo we enye japade ade bia metena meka ye de gyanchirima ye papa chama untumi mu bedia japade ama omumai sebe ye mfa yade enka ho enu nti sasa yade a ye sisi yade na etetew na wo so wo de ne ye busua yade a hwehwe wotwea heba pada echi kwan awurade tumi ne na ho ne nti ono no mamia na afi wate ho afisisi yade a hawo no so oba ana bema na wagina brane amame wodie no eye koko ama woyafunu ebom sebi obi eyafunu bom na wote nchen a wanhwa obeka se epodane yema asoche na eworo so ni nyina ye koko nsunsanso ni bi obi adware awie no obon se oti ne ho especially wadwale nsunyinu no na ne ho eye ne hene wanhwa obeka se eye nam yade bi na wanya koko ntimenia bema bi menua ba bi gya ne nan obon se sebe emoja kakra ewom na afei ahoro kakra ewom odofoi koko no wodi na gu widie mu wodi na sebe oye oba age wani maboso wantwi ponso a wontimi mpie ti na no wa wodi adanse se wantwi ponso a efie na animu die animu hwe na wo kowura ho no enkwada na wo fie ho no ehun se sister so mesi na eba Kwaku no agye w'anim abɔ so pɛ wɔtwea herbal powder ne bi ma me awurade tumi ne na ho ɔde nom to aso ma me na wɔtwe mmiɛnsa to bosome de ho firi Kwaku yade a ɛtetew ana ɛhaw no da bia me kase me hu sɛ obi doctor ka kyerɛ ne sɛ diagnosis na ka kyerɛ ne sɛ wo yade anase de ekum mu nua bɛyi ana mu nua bɛ me ɛyɛ Kwaku nanso me se nhwehwɛmu bebree kyerɛ sɛ about 60% or 70% of yade Kwaku na de ba yani ma so ɛdi nti na yɛ kasa asɛm wei Kwaku ya amaman a ɛbɛgye nipadua ntini ne bɔ so a ɛma mogya nya kwan ɛni afurisa ne ye ɛwɔ nipadua ne mu anaasɛ ntini ne mu ɛno nti wobɔ sɛ akoma ne pɔmpi mogya no a nsɛrɛ sɛ bɛfa ntini no mu akɔ no Kwaku no anaasɛ amaman no agye ntini no abɔ so nti na akɔpem akyire na de pressure asa bɛto ɛyɛ akoma no so na akɔfa nyarewa bebree abere nipadua no ɔdɔfoɔ Kwaku na ɛtete wo deɛ a aduru ne wɔtwea herbal powder edru enchiri bibia obi beka se Kwaku edru de ebi ana epege ana se eka yedru enka de ema ne dance no na otwea herbal powder no ensa anyanwono obi se Kwaku edru bi anwono nanso otwea herbal powder de unya bi na wudi abeka se Tom Brown na wudie enyanwono ensa enka obetima no makonwuma so enti Kwaku powder ensa otwea herbal powder ho odofo kopɛ otwea herbal powder ni bi na eni wakagire mu abra Kwaku hawo na woyɛ bema na se Kwaku yade ebetena wo so anase woyɛ bema na sisi yade ebetena wo so a acha yemfie mienu ni wanya guy name ewo baa no ho Mr 2 minutes bema kosine ma petre pio na wagem enu nti otwea herbal powder no nya bia esa Kwaku yade no na etu sisi yade na ase no na afi ede wo mema yo ebrew se bema na wokosine ni ma wotimi apem akoni Kwaku ama menua baabi emfichi komu adane wo haw bebre onya wo bobena obi de no kra a season amanu ntimi emma obi so de no koye family planning okoyi ye wiye no emmoja no eduru bosom ya se wo so kone maayum no ontimi enkone maayum obi awo achi bemfie ba kumfie menu ni sebe ontimi ko afikyire anase omu ne nsa ebasa akopɛ watwea herbal powder ni bi numbers ni na good screens ni so no freme na menkyerɛ wo kwan a wobɛfa so a wobɛnom watwea herbal powder no mo saa ma no mo mfa nsuo hie na bɛnom ti wonya watwea herbal powder ni bia na wa freme wo se doc ɛkwan pɛn na yɛmfa so a yɛndom watwea herbal powder na ma kyerɛ wo sɛ fibroid afei na ahyɛ aseɛ doctor ahunu sɛ adiagnose wo ahunu sɛ fibroid na afei na ɛba pɛ watwea herbal powder ni bi na freme na yɛnkyerɛ wo kwan a wobɛfa so a wobɛnom awurade tumi ne na ho ade nti wade wo ho afiri saa ɔhaw a ɛte saa ho sɛ wɔbaa ɛde ama me wodie no ɛyɛ ɔsa aduane to yɛfuru na wo bɔbena aduane ntom na wo bɔbena obi nya saman nanso sɛbe yɛtwea ne meko force ne nyinaa ne sɛ emeko tɔ ne yɛm pɛ bia bɛte ne nka ɛwɔ mantamu a wɔte ɔsa ɛna ɛha no ɛsi obi akyi kasa mu ɔgye ne ho a ɛnyɛ obi didi a obo sɛ aduane ne gyinagyina ne bo na ama ne bo ayɛ yere tan ɔdɔfoɔ ɔsa yɛ yadeɛ bi a ɛyɛ yadefo papa etimi ma ɔbo ano wew sɛ na gye wo kyerɛkyerɛw wogye wo ho a ɛnyɛ wonya wɔtwea herbal powder ne bi a awurade tumi na ho ɔde nti wonom to asoma ya acha na wɔtwe mmiɛnsa bosome wade ho firi ɔsa yade a ɛtete ho ɔsa deɛ me se wansa ho a bi na me yɛ victim ti menim sɛ deɛ ɔsa ɛteɛ ɛnyɛ wɔtwea herbal powder me ɛnɛ ka ɔsa atete me apansam me ɔsa ɛyɛ yadeɛ bi a ɛyɛ fo hwehwɛ wɔtwea herbal powder akyiri kwan abra ɔsa yadeɛ ɛtete mu woyɛ bɛma prostrate mu haw ɛna ɛhaw wodie no sɛbe adrum pɛmpɛn so yɛ de rubber ato bɛmem saa danseɛ ne deɛ ɔba yɛ so yɛ a ɛyɛ bebre kwa mɛma awurade tumi ne na ho adi nti wɔnom wɔtwea herbal powder rubber deda wɔ mu mɛma mu no ayiyi na asade wɔ mu mɛma yɔ abrɛ wɔ mu wodie no afei ne ebi a ɛhyɛ aseɛ ɛbɔ nkaeɛ wokɔda a wonya bɛyifoɔ so wokyɛ obi a wotu wotumi dwonso bɛburu bɛmpire du ansa na adeɛ akye ɔdɔfoɔ ɛyɛ dwonsotwa no na wɔhaw bi ɛba ho wodie no wodwonso a wokyema ansa na dwonso no ba wadwonso wie no wote nkasa bi aka wayɛ ase wobɛhu sɛ sɛbe wode wotwaduane hyɛ ɛyɛ wo box anim na dwonso no bi ne nam no ho wobɛkɔ nnipa mu na wo ho agye dwonso ɛba saa aduro no ɛyɛ baako pɛ ɛno no ɔtwea herbal powder unya bia na afei edi wakagyina mu na bɛma prostrate mu hawa ɛba no wade wo ho afiri ho anase wode no rubber na yato no na afei eyi afiri mu ama no na afei ɛde wo mɛma yɛ no so asa abrɛw tie woyɛ bɛma size a awurade de bɔɔ sɛ ɛyɛ wo mɛma yɛ no tie ne yie wode no ɛnyɛ sunsum adeɛ bi ɛnyɛ dwuabo bi na obi abɔ nanso wo sɛ ɛso tia na ɛteɛ bɛma ama wode na fon ayɛ sɛ crayon ayɛ sɛ straw ayɛ lengelenge me say ati say yesusu ani ye wa aduane bi yedi kurikuri wodi ani hia na ehi a efo se kurukuri be me pe wotwe aheba pada ni bi unya bi afre me menkyire wo kwan a wo be maso a wo be no no awurade tumi ni na ho adi nti na afi ma be ma no awura ba yirima me se be ma de enu botom ene 17 na sen wona ntem no na emu botom nya ntini so abedi di hu ne nkoye di a wo sori a ebasa ne ma no omudi wa bebeye anopa omudi wo na epra ewufie be me ma wuntini enkasa ma wo ebe kasa ma wo di a na ye wotwe aheba pada aha muntie ni ye we emfa bi meka ho na emum size na awurade de ball ne so ate a e de sa size na awurade de ball na eno na abɛrugeni tienie eno na bɛsa aba e de ama ho tienie pa ama me ɛhɔ de ehia me aduro no ɛyɛ wɔtwea heba pada udi hye nya stroke da fam sɛ be ne fa adwodwo odofo pe wotwea heba pada ni bi ma emma sɛ be yade na nyemo bre emoso ebre yesika nti we hwɛ ne na awotwe na we ya be hwɛ ne na awotwe munya kwan po ne ma ya adwuma na munya sika de egu mu betom o man yi mu ti odofo pe wotwea heba pada emma wo dihye na wo sɛ be bonya stroke da fam na ne fa adwodwo no awurade tumi na ho odi nti na wasɔre agina wodi ne yɛ sciatica eno na branche bi hia mo se da bia me hwe wo ntumi o se sciatica yade se nke nipa di anka oba wo de badin ato no eno kɔ ɛyɛ din bi a ɛdɛ nanso odofo ɛma ne nya yi ɛyɛ yade ha na broni di ni na ato so sciatica o tu ase ntini twetwem o gye wo ho anye o tina se kye na wo sɔre o bo se utu ahwe obi ɛsɔle no bo nso se me na ayɛ titiriti me nsa ayɛ titiriti pa wɔtwe aheba pada no bi awurade tumi ni na ho odi nti wade ho afisa yade no ɛbrɛ no anya ayɛ brɛ enu nti me sorry na wo gye numbers na wo gye location wo benya wo twea heba pada ni bi ato eye kwaw enkotia ho a adua mo ajanhye ho na baewa drugstore ewo ho na baewa drugstore organizer no ele ni so na baewa drugstore ewo kwaw enkotia wo benya wo twea heba pada no dudu bi a ope ato Queen Bobone ewo Madina Ray Junction gas filling station hona Queen Bobone ewo ho ubenya bi ato ade farmer wo suga kope ubenya otwea heba pada ni bi ato ewo ho Dr. Clement ewo Brekum ubenya otwea heba pada ni bi ato House of Drug ewo Ashaman PK Gombila ewo Tamale Jeff Heba ewo Mankesi Breyima ewo Adum Museum ho wo se Breyima ni wo twa rubber stamp original one no ubenya wotwea heba pada ni bi ato Ghana hadie bebe bi eto aduru bi a Tobinko Pharmacy ewo Okashi Drug Lane ubenya bi ato ewo ho Stencom ewo Nungwa Coastal ubenya wotwea heba pada ni bi ato ewo honom Diamono Pharmacy ewo eye Techiman ubenya watwea heba pada ni bi ato ewo honum watwea heba pada ye numbers ni keys ni de ekutame eno ne ye dikodi ewo kwawu tie ni ye mema no ofrem ya nam de key ne aka ho wo de ofrem ya so wo 30 minutes wo pe 1 hour wo pe 2 hours na me nkire wo key no enka ho na gina brane ma me se bema numbers no eye 0591 56 55 57 0591 56 55 57 0550 63 90 37 0550 63 90 37 ye twatwo no eye 0551 22 82 81 0551 22 82 81 yes what share heba pada ejane hyewa wa ena obeba Mamenchia me Dr. AJ baby awu bia me chia wo twea heba pada the doctor baako chia wo enelu mruso Dr. AJ o se be ma de mo banka AJ wo mpem o ba be ka AJ so dia na yo twea heba pada
all right me da se Alex AJ me da wase papa ya toa dwumadie no so live on Wood to me television so na otwea herbal powder baba din komodia na ne akabia de etoa woso maka kire say ene awie the deputy secretary general secretary of the NPP nase na yede no edi nkomo na meeting na ekoso enra neck meeting ekoso enra no one eba beche eye ginaya omo ekoy esiye diema ekoso ene way forward ho enkomo ene ye babidino ene awie na eno so eda nkyenya na chese eye lawyer Charles Joanna ene otnase na yede no edi nkomo topical issues nneɛma a ɛrekɔ so ɛwɔ yɛman Ghana mu ɛno nso yɛbɛdi ho nkɔmmɔ ɛnɛ awie ya eti ma efidie no ɛna ha na ɛnɛ awie nkɔmmɔ no bi a ɛrekɔ so no fango nkɔmmɔ ɛkɔ so President Mahama ɔsɛ bread and butter issues ɛno ho asɛm na yɛnka na yɛbɛka bi di aboa no bread and butter issues yi so koraa na ɛnyɛ positive bread and butter issues no bibia pointed to the negative under this current administration but ɛnɛ yɛbɛhwɛ nneɛma a affect o ɛnɛ wasetena mu ɛte sɛn reset no sɛn de si affect o aban papa aba ɛno ana wo mu yɛ ana anaasɛ sisɛn no deɛ daabi nneɛma apaska fan go ho nsɛnsɛm no kwa na ɛkɔ soro and by the close of this week crowd it's expected say one shot the next pricing window being used to say word say ɛbɛkɔ soro because a year Donald Trump ɛka Iran for so better Iraq into the stone age or the omo bɛkɔ titibure mu kyɛ obeyi omo afiri asase ani no wa wipe omo kra ma kyɛ sɛ nyɛ kra akɔla esu kra wuntimi kra ɛwɔ ho no prices no a drop but the a year omo ɛkɔfa fango no ɛbrɛ yɛn ɛka kyerɛ yɛn sɛ adeɛ no deɛ nyɛ sisei ɛde ɛbɛhu changes ɛwɔ fuel pumps no ɛho na bɛtake time afei na so ɛte nkakra nti bɛtake time ɛnɛ Mr. President John Dramani Mahama ɔyɛ emergency cabinet meeting na emergency cabinet meeting no ɔyɛ no ɛba be change biribi ɛwɔ fuel pumps na anaasɛ sɛdeɛ ɔkɔkaa no Kwaku business meeting sɛ sɛdeɛ nneɛma akɔ no deɛ sɛ ɔyɛ emergency cabinet meeting no ɛnɛ adeɛ no aba form kakra nti no ɛnɛ or revise the notes say onyi tax no levies no ne ho kro de ba no emfiri so ana let's keep our fingers crossed dan san ye be koye nim no na kwam ye sadeɛ otuko no bɛseɛ DJ Bobiyom yentie ɛyɛ John Ginapo kakra John Ginapo bra na omo ewo opposition nsɛm bi ɔkaayɛ omo ba aban mu a na prices of a fuel so ekoyie no yentie John Ginapo ono na currently oye energy minister na back then in opposition niemo kaye edefa fango prices no eho na edeya oye minister okojina parliament so ensema okaye enti DJ Boyayom why na nakwa me ba ade no ensu ewo so na yemfan refresh
on this note and on this auspicious note. Let me make it clear that irrespective of the 1 cedi, we are not going to see an increase in the price of pump price at the petroleum sector. It is only an intelligent government that can do this. No, it's only a smart government. It's only a government with acumen. On this note, and on this auspicious note, let me make it clear that irrespective of the 1 cedi, we are not going to see an increase in the price of pump price at the petroleum sector. It is only an intelligent government that can do this. No, it's only a smart government. It's only a government with acumen.
With grave concern, the rampant and unbridled increase in petroleum prices demonstrates that the Akufo-Addo government is insensitive and heartless to the ordinary Ghanaian. It is equally important to put on record that Ghana is a net exporter of oil. Therefore, when prices of oil at the international market rises, Ghana must benefit, and this benefit must be translated to the ordinary Ghanaian. When prices go up, because we're a net exporter, we gain more. And so it cannot be the case that international oil market prices are going up, and yet Ghanaians are suffering from the windfall that we make from petroleum exports. The recent increase have only resulted in worsening of the living conditions of the already impoverished Ghanaian under the Akufo-Addo presidency. One cannot but come to the conclusion that the Akufo-Addo-led government has run out of ideas. Hence, their decision to resort to such rampant petroleum increase. With grave concern, The rampant and unbridled increase in petroleum prices demonstrates that the Akufo-Addo government is insensitive and heartless to the ordinary Ghanaian. It is equally important to put on record that Ghana is a net exporter of oil. Therefore, when prices of oil at the international market rises, Ghana must benefit, and this benefit must be translated to the ordinary Ghanaian. When prices go up, because we're a net exporter, we gain more. And so it cannot be the case that international oil market prices are going up, and yet Ghanaians are suffering from the windfall that we make from petroleum exports. The recent increase have only resulted in worsening of the living conditions of the already impoverished Ghanaian under the Akufo-Addo presidency. One cannot but come to the conclusion that the Akufo-Addo-led government has run out of ideas. Hence, their decision to resort to such a rampant petroleum increase. With grave concern, the rampant and unbridled increase in petroleum prices demonstrates that the Akufo-Addo government is insensitive and heartless to the ordinary Ghanaian. It is equally important to put on record that Ghana is a net exporter of oil. Therefore, when prices of oil at the international market rises, Ghana must benefit, and this benefit must be translated to the ordinary Ghanaian. When prices go up, because we're a net exporter, we gain more. And so it cannot be the case that international oil market prices are going up, and yet Ghanaians are suffering from the windfall that we make from petroleum exports. The recent increase have only resulted in worsening of the living conditions of the already impoverished Ghanaian under the Akufo-Addo presidency. One cannot but come to the conclusion that Akufo-Addo led.
So John Jinapo should listen to himself. That Onua in playback in Sebo Kano and then it stares at him in the face. Onua in Sebo Kano and then Onua na onfa enye juma tie sadia editor ono make us say the deputy general secretary of the NPP ewo efi ha say ya no eba betwetwe nkomo Alhaji Haruna Muhammad ewo fi ha no be na awie ebi na ta friend of prof ofi ha no be na awie ya no eba twetwe nkomo. I need not repeat myself. Say tia, and I said, "Be say neck meeting echo soon fall out no. Yade a deputy general secretary eba bidi ehu enkomo na watch lecture DMM said ye empo ekoye ewo bi tinase enra na fe e bia contester the data ye dibide emu ensensem gina no ye beka ehu asem quickly be bana akwaba. Now, make us say, my former friend, you be in Kratema or call for a year regional communications director for the NPP. My former friend, be who natural ye, okay, make us be who natural. Who do you be who no? The fear had you be who natural ye, my former friend, Kaskin, Poku, or say Poku, Usu Poku. Ewo fi hado na awie Kesken so ewo hado na awie ti my former friend actually you be capture na ya hwe 1 or 2 but prof me ma kwa aba jubedi so na mpacho wapo mu tizai shia na say ye shia ya che afi de bi hu ha I think say shia there last year
no
o pass
the last time me back kuma
yeah
Mebaha.
Yeah, then last year.
The only station I attended to.
Yes.
This is
this year.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But somewhere. Yadayabiase. We have people say party no. Say ebe fire to my pa edie fra no. Busy na. Round and about. Sir. Prophet, what does dear? Yes, every. Enra ehu say party mpedifu gina ekuhia ye friend neck meeting na party mpedifu ehia ye no musi nkonya etoatoa adwene na ebibi say empo ya register your members registration of a year membership registration course no 31st March ya the call na wie na enu anyinya nti yese mu ye meeting yati ahumsem kakra na enso ye me de pass ene wo ha mpanifo de kan mo asemo se Kwaku mo hoyi ejine Kwaku anu ye mu bi de ne ni dem ho but mo na mo ko hia mo no ma ye meeting na mu ye meeting no so wi a esemo ne members no ebeche ye course enti prof ene wo ha be ma wakwa aba na no meeting no e ko say
de di kan we be chia obi biara wo hweye anase otiye ewo wontumi TV so the heart of Kumasi me chia omu nyina na me be chia the owner of this station which I can say the CEO, right? Yes, and I said the group CEO because companies endorse I want to Michiano or also soon a year the regional chairman for the new Patriotic Party, Emma the Greater Kumasi region, and I said the Ashanti region of Ghana. Enra party mpenu for Ekoshiaye. Ye call no ya koko hwehwe nema bebree unim say somewhere on the 17th of February party no edi guidelines about wanting under the hand of the General Secretary on a decision of the National Council say NEC proposed decision Emma National Council for the adoption of guidelines and timelines for the internal reorganization of the party. Yedi timelines, no any guidelines, no there were feedbacks and a proposals be say party no some of the guidelines and answer some of the decisions. In Rano, Ibishiano, there was a steering committee meeting. So you discussed a number of issues to be considered at NEC. Now, Yekoshi and Rano, some of these particular proposals was presented by lawyer Justin Kodia Frimpong, the CEO of the party, the General Secretary. Or your presentation, Emma, the party leadership at the NEC level, there were several decisions party take here. Now, me decisions one after the other. Say unim say party a o take decisions a ana say o hyem rabia e wo kwan say nipa bebre betimi ahun say we enkoyie ana say we ebekoyie ana say ye ni say a ebeye ne hwe echen de efese eye no na ye hia ye no first of all no ye hwe nema mensa ana say about 3 sets of things. First one a polling station elections guideline. So ufa the expanded guideline ye ni nyina ewo na nipa bebre ebimi ubisa say the eba ye no the latest one eba from National Executive Committee no is it replacing the earlier guideline? Answer no no. It's not replacing the entire guideline. Some of the guidelines in the first guideline say yes sir ebimu wo ha ye revise na ebimu wo ha e di ka ho eninti na General Secretary eka say revised guidelines for the internal elections and related matters. So first polling station elections guidelines. Uhe under polling stations no yakasa suspension of elections in disputed polling stations. Yema guidelines no say ebe internal reorganization no. Say all the 40,600 plus polling stations across the country no. Yebe elections in all the polling stations. Now yebe share no in line with the vision of the General Secretary to make sure say polling stations should have an existing and workable album no. ye kwa kwahia se ye polling station meetings. And the National Council ajatum say every polling station say omo nhia no mo ye meeting and omo party 4D omo duru 18 years and above with sound mind and omo any criminal record no omo ankasa a professor omo say demand driven the willingness say omo person omo join the new patriotic party. In the party's constitution in article 3 no party's membership emanates from the polling station. And the national party no are proposed to NEC and a NEC Eddie Core Council and a council are adopted here. So there is the need for us to have a workable record that will serve as an album at the polling station and also to give us data of our party people across the length and breadth of the country, including the diaspora. And yes, from 1st of March to the 31st of March, party ni bia ukochro wudi at the polling station. Now attended the meeting at the polling station. Omo person joining the new patriotic party for the first time. You should go and attend the polling station meeting. The polling station will accept you. Say ubechro wudi. With this particular directive, some constituency you receive reports. Say in some particular polling stations na omu hold the album and I say omu hold the polling station register na nipemu bebre omu nya access to write their names. So after 1 week of the exercise the general secretary issue a statement upload and I say onboarded the use of the IT infrastructure for online registration. It was part of the reason say instituted that particular platform say nipa bebrebe timi are register online to facilitate the easy work of the polling stations. And nipa bebre omo nya access no bebre akwakotra omodi in the online registration. And you know say who all the online registration process there is a statement Eka said go to the polling station and write your name because Emmanuel HSF who register online who a member of the party Nkansah but untumi entwa ba ewo polling station na untumi susu engina say omuba to aba ma
wo na every depa because do na em say no mu nim saade no so ana enti online o ko register online now you be online na bia yajiwatu online esa osan call polling station
yes,
now control okay
yes now online also so ukwa it is in 2 strands who fill with details no yebohu as a party say you've made an attempt to register as a party member who proceed to pay your dues and get your electronic card you will not become a member of the party. Because no na ubetimi akere say me pese me ye ordinary member of the party, me pese me ye silver member of the party, me pese me ye gold member of the party, and I say diamond member of the party, now me pese me ye platinum member of the party. And who need category of membership then you are not a member. So 99% of persons are you know data on the system no and I say omadi and omasa pay omo dues onto the party's account. Omo wa ha obi mu ha omo ko police stations no omo deny omo access. Ebi mu so omo ko police stations say omo kire omo di na omo ko ye no omo deny omo access na omo ko platform no so onso akọ register. And the decision not to allow the online registrants to vote it still holds. But the party will suspend polling station elections. On the polling stations, I will deny people access to register their names into the book at the polling station.
The party will suspend such polling stations. So we have reports saying that
yes,
okay.
Reports be brave, but other reports are such reports, and the party will suspend such elections in such disputed polling stations.
But I don't know. Person will say be a said denial no. ɛne sɛ ebia at that time a nipa no so kɔɔ no ɔmo ɛnyɛ available saa da no ebia na ɔmo ni hɔ a ɔmo atena ase. How do you draw the line?
The General Secretary issued a statement afterwards to give specific dates for the election, for the meetings. Say, me ba ho na mo ni hɔ a, then it is something else. And specific dates were given. We were asked to do their meetings during the weekends. And there were 4 Saturdays and there were 5 Sundays. In March, there were 4 Saturdays and there were 5 Sundays in March. And which they say, in all sincerity, ubitimi anya all the 4 weekends to register. And data mudi yedimaya no. It just say, yes, I can say, Omo police station, the police station executives can vary the date by publishing the date of the meeting because of specific instances. Say, in that particular jurisdiction, there is the need to sit either in the evening or sit in a weekday where nobody goes to funeral, where nobody goes to market, where nobody goes to farm. There are places say there is a specific day omunko bibia. In such cases, it should be published so that omo person omumba meeting no umbetimi ahu say time we and I said day we say ombe polling station meeting no. And the days were known, but people were denied. So omo deny omo access no. And as a polling stations there was denial of access no. The party will suspend elections at those polling stations and refer the matter to the regional steering committee through the constituency executive committee. That was the first decision by NEC on behalf of the National Council. The second one on the polling station guidelines was the number of polling stations the polling station election committee betimia conducted. In the earlier directive guidelines issued here, it was that said every 3-member polling station election committee be conducted elections for only 10 polling stations. Only 10 polling stations. And we've received and I said nipa bebre e de omo adwen abaye. Omo di baye no ya hwehwem. Ya analyze it. Ya hwɛ the human resource. Ya hwɛ the timelines. And the quality of work ye pen. Now, no NEC revise the number from 10 to 25. For every 3-member election committee, Omoba organize it, Omoba conduct elections for 25 polling stations. We share a constituency like Trouble. There were 235 polling stations. 235 polling stations. It just said in every 100 you have 4 committees to conduct. In every 100 you have 4 committees because 25 times 4 will give you 100. So uko troboa, then it means that you will have 8 plus 1 giving you 9, and it will be left with 15 polling stations. So udi kanwa obenye 10 polling stations. But in the previous one, you would have been getting about 230 committees. So in this particular instance, you'll be getting just 10 committees. But in the other ones, you would have been using about 23 committees. And you reduce the number for effectiveness. So that time now we use, you will be able to get the required.
But when I'm afraid the cluster.
The number of polling stations until we've revised the number from 10 polling stations to 25 for each 3-member election committee.
Okay.
The third one under the polling station was the cluster polling stations. Cluster no, HSA, there is a polling station or there is a specific place where you have 5 polling stations, 10 polling stations. Omutu aba ewo sa particular location. Now, Keskin me bibia in Kumasi, the Ebaiha say more about 5 police and I said 6 police stations, and they vote at that center. That is yes, in most of the schools.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
In most of the schools, we have 5, 6 police, 7 police stations around the same place, and it's a particular one. Your friend of cluster polling stations. And the particular cluster polling stations, no. Ubia or in the cluster, no. In the previous one, no. In cluster, there were A and B. There were another A and B. There were another A and B. Which means I have 6 polling stations. Na nina ya A and B, A and B. Ubi were A. On to me contest it for B because you are not voting in that polling station. You are voting in A. You are not voting in B. And you want to win contest it for B because say your vote is in A.
Okay.
But in the cluster circumstances, A no and B no ewa one location.
Okay.
Okay. Another A and B again. And also one location. Another A and B and also one location. So it will be a school B and a polling stations a 6. A bimu line A to her. A bimuso line A to her. A bimuso line and a ninaya a wabako.
Okay.
In our first guideline for the meeting, you see all the polling stations no bet me a one meeting. But who control dia? Who control within your specific polling station register book, no? But want to mean contest it for a polling station now, but in no, you could share no, you revise it for only cluster polling stations. The polling stations one compound. Who are A? Uber contest for B.
For the cluster.
Who A? Uber contest for B. Mubit our polling station A and B, but it is not at one place. Baby, I me to maba. I was Abzugu. Media no ye DA primary, Chakologu A. B no any A no, it is not at one place. A no ewo Chakologu former Ahimfie no Ohono mewo. And a B no ewo one particular mosque far from where A no ewo no. No enye cluster. But where say A and B no ewo one compound. And another A and B susu ewo ho. And I say enye A and B kura a polling station this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Na ni nyina ewo one compound. A cluster. Enti uwo polling station A and I say polling station 1 ubetimi agina ema polling station 4. As a polling station executive. The rationale no say all the executives and as a muye jumama party no at that particular center no edu abatwa saima uko twi nipa baba vote a unko se utwi obia oye A ni anase B ni anase polling station 4 ni utwi MPP 4 se omuba betwaba na omu nyina omu djuma no omu yebom uya ma all the polling stations enti ye be yi nipa a obegina ma sa particular polling stations na ye be cluster no sa ye say ye relax the rule no emma omu a obetimi aye djuma omu a omu free cluster no omu a omu gusu eye djuma no bida say omu betimi a contest even so say vote a particular polling station no, but the polling station is within the vicinity you vote. Now you attend meeting at that particular cluster. That is explanation for the cluster polling station. But if it is not cluster, if you don't vote in that polling station, you cannot stand for elections.
Okay.
Then from there no you call eligibility contest. Eligibility to contest. Ubietimi a contesting for the elections. You must wow be contesting. I say we reside in the electoral area.
Ya to so
abano.
I say uti
yes, uti sa area no.
Okay.
Sa electoral area no. Say you're working with electoral areas. Every polling station is found itself in an electoral area. And yes, we reside in that electoral area. Ushe ahano asokwa bebiaeti it is part of a certain electoral area. Ebianka the constituency secretary won't bit me actually said this electoral area name is this. But if say we be contested for electoral area A, but uti electoral area B won't me. Reside in electoral area.
Yeah.
For you to be legible to contest, no, you must come from the electoral area. Say, ebeye biano. What is that particular electoral area? Oh, da ho, oh, did you ho, oh, ye juma ewo ho, and I say, oh, party juma yina ewo ho. Na ufie ewo ho, and I say, baby, I would dano ewo ho.
Okay.
But who person will contest for elections in a polling station say ewo electoral area B. Now, uti electoral area C. To me contesting, so you should come from the electoral area. So if it's a cluster, more especially, no, most of the cluster polling stations, no, it is one electoral area.
Oh, okay.
Because electoral area bear a code. So the code for the electoral area, no, it is on all the polling stations in that particular electoral area. So for uniqueness and identification, no, yes, you must come from the electoral area, who resided in that electoral area, and who are back our electoral area.
Prof, what to us no ebia me sanka dodo na yon baby sabat. The best I can do, and say who question bia who bet to me ediafa 0244 510595 so na makenkan ediama prof nti 0244 510595 nti wo question bia wo betumi de afa so na we dey prof to aso no menhwe me ma prof na okay wo dey prof to aso na wo dey ko anima na menhwe say bia questions ni bi ewo hodoma na fe makenkan say wo so betumi ayi ano amaya na wabo mo.
So apart from urus ewo hono I say utumi to aba so ewo sa particular electoral area no enti who reside in electoral area no who reside in the electoral area but who vote outside the electoral area e che say who see electoral area no but baby a who to aba no and as a polling station a who to aba no it is not in that electoral area. So baby a who to aba no should be in that particular electoral area and not about eligibility contest to contest for polling station and as a electoral area elections in that particular area. Then the fifth one is special polling stations. Special polling stations. Your polling stations are our schools. Your polling stations are our security zones. Your polling stations are our government ministries. Your polling stations are our inside the markets. And your polling stations are that is in hospitals. So particular polling stations, no. Untimi Nkase polling station at the military barracks should only allow those residents in the barracks, that is the military, to contest for the elections at the polling station, because emrano en mo kwan say omonjina for such particular contest. So obi a obetimi contest elections and also obi a person on contest elections for barracks and also institution and also market area and also a ministries area, you must reside in the electoral area, sa particular special police station or ewo. Vote sa particular police station because it's a barracks. The security people are voting there. Though say you was civilians say or move vote ewo, but you relax the rule no say we should open it up for people who vote in the electoral area where the barracks polling station belongs, where the market polling station belongs, where the school polling station belongs. And you classify some particular polling stations as special polling stations. And you relax and also to the electoral area base. Then the second tranche was on electoral area guidelines. Electoral area election guidelines. Uko the first guideline, the initial guideline, and I say the base guideline now, Edimaye no. Now you can say for every 3-member electoral area committee, we will conduct elections for 5 electoral areas. Enurano ekushia no ya sisa that particular directive and I said that guideline and you revise from 5 to 10. So for every 3-member electoral area election committee, we will conduct elections for 10 electoral areas. But if electoral area no so like my constituency, there were 15 electoral areas. 15 no, we 10 from I cut 5. And the regional steering committee divide the electoral area of 15 into 2. And on area 7 and 8. Then a committee will go and conduct the elections. That one, Emrano, and I said the changes to vary the number of electoral area is in the hands of the regional steering committee. And until now, the steering committee no nipa baako say omunko aka the constituency executive committee say umbetimi ayi all the committee members for the elections. Then on resignation requirement of a polling station executive, in the base guideline, na you say who call electoral area and we polling station executive. And you can say ube resign and sign a uko in the initial one. Yesterday, no, ya sisa particular rule for the electoral area. Who call for electoral area elections? Now we are polling station executive. Ube resign from your position as a polling station executive and sign ube to contesting for electoral area officer, because there were 5 positions at the electoral area level. Now, then you must resign if you are an existing polling station executives. So that rule, you revise it, that particular rule. Then the chapter elections. Say your diaspora, diaspora, your chapters and your branch. Chapters, like constituencies, and a branch, like region. And to uko for the chapter elections, ya clarify certain rules for the conduct of the chapter elections. So for the chapter elections, the chapter, the branch executive committee, omubeyi nipa baako, ono na beye the chairperson for the election committee. Then the chapter executive committee omususu beyi nipa baako, and the chapter council of elders omususu beyi nipa baako. And the branch executive committee no omubeyi nipa baako, ono na beye chairman for the election committee. The chapter executive committee no omoti so no omubeyi nipa baako as representative, and then council of elders for the chapter no omubeyi nipa baako, ono so be kan ho omo ye 3-member election committee. That is how they will form their 3-member committee. Then mode of elections no now ebi mu omo ye online, ebi mu ye in person. The guideline no na edi ba bonte no ye ka say the guidelines actually say elections shall be in person. Inura no ya sisa sa particular room no kakra in person no ewo ho, but baby a omo pese omo ye elections
be in person no ubetumi achire mu
say wa onkasa wo ho say wa onkasa wo ho na utu aba no ama wo enti untumi ento by proxy enti it is in person wa onkasa wo ho say utu aba no untumi ma obi akwakoto aba ama wo ana say ubetu aba on online. So for the first one no you see only in person. Eno no ya sesa no kakra you see in person no ewo ho, but baby a omo pese omo to aba online, then online no should be done on official MPP e-voting platform. Untumi and develop your own voting platform online. Say omo to aba like miss muko Canada. Na Canada branch a omo chapter omo ye elections no, then omo can say omo be develop omo ankasa e-voting platform for voting. There will be only one e-voting platform from the national headquarters of the party. So baby omo ye e-voting no, then it must be on the official MPP e-voting platform. Ebi wo ha oyare, ebi wo ha wato kwan, ebi wo ha bibi anase nema bi anase juma bi or website ontumi nko. And the way diaspora elections no no so unim say abrochi no ewa baby awoko to aba no ewa na uwo juma ma uko wo say uko ye juma na uko ubenye bibi abefie na elections nti ubetumi ajaye ujuma no na wo si uko ye elections ya makwan say where it is necessary say ye e-voting no, then we should do it on the MPP e-voting platform.
Oh, okay.
Not Canada say omo develop omo ankasa e-voting platform. No, it should be a unique e-voting platform which is for the party, and the party has developed or would develop one for all the e-voting platforms. Then eligibility for you to contest. Ube contesti for position at the chapter in Abuja. I say you must be an active member for 2 years. And sana obitimi a contesti and I say obitimi a vote in that particular election. Active member for active 2 years. 2 clear years before. Because who refer back to the constitution, the chapter rule, it is equal to constituency. And the constitution states that before you can become a constituency executive committee member, you must be an active member in good standing for 2 years. Now you're a party member for Mfiemini and sana ubitimi to aba and asa ubitimi ajina na mo to aba ma. That is what works for the diaspora in terms of the chapter. Then positions to be contested. Now positions no na dosu. Canada betimi ayi positions way, US betimi ayi positions. Now positions no was not consistent to everybody. And because of that no, yeba office, yewura Justin Kwedu ka say, no, we must streamline the positions. The positions must be the same. And in the wisdom of the party, we have come out with the positions for the diaspora. And for you to contest for chapter, then ubetimi ajina ama chapter chairman and as a chairperson. Ubetimi ajina for first vice chairman.
These are the positions.
These are the positions.
A year chapter.
Yes, chapter. Chapter chairperson, chapter first vice, chapter second vice, chapter secretary, chapter deputy secretary, chapter treasurer, chapter organizer, chapter women organizer, chapter youth organizer, chapter Nasara organizer, and chapter communications officer. These are the offices. So we at the chapter level. These are the contested positions at the chapter level.
Prof, me name say be a member who every year now say because messages no cry let me
finish the chapter and
okay,
then,
we
just close to finishing.
All right.
Then
all right.
The appointed offices for the chapter, no, it is defined. The chapter research officer, the chapter electoral affairs officer, the chapter women organizer, the chapter deputy women organizer, the deputy chapter youth organizer, the deputy chapter organizer, and the deputy chapter Nasara organizer. You cannot ultimately appoint any other office that is not in this guideline. It must be consistent with the established guidelines of the party. Then addition, the appointed offices, Mayim Minuafri, chapter financial secretary, any chapter PWD coordinator. So particular two positions on account. So these are the appointed offices. You can't appoint less, and you can't appoint more. Until appoint Abroso, and I say Uyibi every. You must appoint the established positions that is being put to you for election. Then branch and also mode of elections is the same as the chapter. In person and NPP e-voting, official e-voting platform. And then eligibility is also the same thing, 2 years. Eligibility is 2 years before you can contest and also you can vote. And positions are also so for contestant ones are the same. And no a branch chairperson, branch first vice, branch second vice, branch secretary, branch deputy secretary, branch treasurer, branch organizer, branch women organizer, branch youth organizer, branch Nasara organizer, and branch communications officer. These are the contested offices at the branch for the diaspora. Then the appointed ones, branch research officer, branch electoral affairs officer, branch legal officer.
Branch legal officer. Okay.
Branch deputy branch women organizer, deputy branch youth organizer, deputy branch organizer, financial or branch financial secretary, branch PWD coordinator, and then branch special duties officer.
The branch legal, it's always been.
These are the first time we are introducing.
Mm-hmm.
It was part of the amendment. Now, amendments are in Accra. Yes. Now, yes. So once the branch is equated to the regional, the region has these positions, then the branch will have the same position for the diaspora. So these were part of the amendment. In Accra at the Legon Sports Stadium.
Okay.
Now, apart from that, it was the vision of Lawyer Justin Kodua to ensure that the party at all levels, rule definitions was very clear. Rule definitions was very clear. So, Odibaye, and after the amendment of the party's constitution and before the elections of officers, we must define all the rules so that the next officers say Omebebano, they will not be conflicting of rules. So the National Executive Committee in Urano, NIPA 9, say they should draft or develop a party manual for officers. Party manual for all officers of the party, from polling station, electoral area, constituency, chapter, branch, regional, national. And the chairman is former national chairman of the party, Yeura Peter McNeil. The vice chairman is Yeura Honorable Osei Bonsu Amwa, Midui Efrano Ubi Amwa, a lawyer. Yeah, this year. Henry Nanaboachi, lawyer, or a member. Modishia Bakososo, Enoch, Aure, Afuaqua. Or say lawyer, or a member secretary. You were lawyer Anthony Namo, or a regional chairman, Emma, the good people of Upper East, from the regional chairman's caucus, Okaw, as a member. Nkansah, Haruna Mohammed, be a member of the committee from the National Secretariat of the party. Yamame Justina Marigold Asa, or a former regional minister for the Central Region, a friend the good of Central Region, or a member. Yamame Amaprim former Juma, or a lawyer, now a former CEO for SIC. Also na Yamami Joanna Ada, or your first vice regional chairman for the Greater Accra region, also Kaho. And committee where they will discharge their duty. Say, Omoba Pe, Omoba research, Omoba Tnase, Omoba Kasa, vast experiences, Beba, and you establishing the rule definitions for every member, for all leaders of the party.
For all into omo juma pa na say omo I want to be person with to be.
Yes, omo juma to develop a comprehensive manual outlining the specific roles and responsibilities of party officers at all levels.
All levels.
Polling station chairman, the role, secretary, organizer, youth organizer, electoral affairs, communication.
But one will ask, isn't their role already defined?
No, it's not. In the constitution, the rule say polling station executives. But what is the work of the chairman? What is the work of the secretary? Juma Baina organizer no baye. Juma Baina Nasara no baye. Juma Baina electoral affairs no baye. Juma Baina communication no baye. Ni no committee no be treat agu manual no so na obi biara benim se miko gina se me pese mingina as a communication officer me wini a edwuma we na me baye ebi mo ha omo ko positions bi omo nim sa position ne dwuma no wa hu ko position anase obisa no mka chan se position ne dwuma ye se ya obaka se debi e dia mintimi ko sa particular position no ma me ko position fofo. So, I say you establish it so that rule definitions are very clear. So, these were the decisions of NEC yesterday. Yeah.
Okay. But I say, be an afraid watching with Fidia Diababa to Adama, me pacho, aha, you want to me TV. Na Openia Meneno Casano, Deputy General Secretary for the NPP. Justin Frimpong Kudia, na bedi echiri enono. Any adeno twetwen komo ewo afidie so na neck meet na enra omo ekotena ase ana sempelifo sinko ya edede obiebie mu ensem no ede a kire se de obeti ase because ye gina no de ni dem honum ebi enti eye ura Haruna Mohammed aye friend prof de ne no twetwe nkomo no member eye prof nchen bio na prof we de ma minyi questions kakra every honum say be able to be a boy a year no can be a year but many can messages no sana be trust ye to me attend and access will be yano ediama and afe yanko yedim and fan combono tofa. Dr. Enoch a champion. Dr. Enoch Owahine a champion. A year lecturer EWK and UST or a regular panelist. Ewaha. Now, Dr. Enoch Owahine champion message was good afternoon, boss. During the earlier guidelines, the General Secretary said that polling station executives can contest for electoral area committee position without necessarily having to resign. But the new guideline requires resignation. 1. Please ask Deputy Secretary what has necessitated this change. 2. Again, the party should kindly publish the list of polling stations, so suspended to avoid confusion. 3. The major challenge the party has to address is the interest of incumbent constituency executives who have interest to seek for re-election, serving as members of the election committee members. That's where the machinations will come from. So over to me.
So first, or say, what be say what has informed say they should resign before they contest. Consistency, because Ushe in all the positions, they say Ube contest here resign. So, and yes, you must special reference or preference to a certain position. So, Ushe, the polling station was the only person that can contest any position within the party without resigning. So, for consistency, Mpanyinfo adwene ho say we should be consistent. Every position there will be contested. If you are holding an existing position, you must resign. Not that your tenure of office has ended. For the purposes of clarity, or more executives say, they don't need to resign before they contest, because omuye incumbent executives and their tenure of office ebe. That is why I say you elect new officers for them. But for the fact say while contesting for polling station elections, while winning in less than a month, who person will contest for electoral area, and yes, will resign. Because if the electoral area coordinator contests and win, now a person will call contest for constituency, the rule say on resign. If the constituency officer contests and wins, and a person will call regional, the rule says on resign. If the regional executive or contestee or winner, no person will call national, then they say or resign. So for consistency and fairness, then the polling station executive should also resign for fairness and consistency. Okay. Then second one, Obisa said, yes, or say young publish the list.
Okay, the list of polling stations so suspended to avoid confusion.
Yeah. To avoid confusion. If you read the guideline, I see where a polling station elections committee is unable to conduct elections due to concerns by party members, including those who registered online but were denied access to write their names in the polling station membership register, the committee shall suspend the elections at that polling station and refer the matter to the regional steering committee through the constituency executive committee. The key word is if the polling station election committee is unable to conduct. We are not at the stage of conduct. We are at the stage of building the album. So you be do time almost conduct elections, and a committee conduct elections, and there is that resistance of an issue of denial, then they will suspend the elections. So until those issues or denials comes up are raised, you cannot suspend now, even though say polling stations be or more deny a bimuse but they went to write their names online. So if you know, say, you have been denied and the time of elections reach and you go to vote and they says you cannot vote, the elections committee will suspend the elections for that polling station. And Unim said the elections for that, for the poll, it is for a number of days, about 6 or 10 days for the elections. So who suspend it for the first time within the period of the elections? Steering committee will take a decision. Take a decision. I can say all those who register online because you deny them access to write their names in the register. I can say okay, fine. Mu deny nipa mo say omuntimi vote. I can say all recognized or known party members within the polling station should come out and vote. That is the punishment for denial. And that is the remedy to cure that mischief. So we cannot publish now. Then there was a third one.
The third one says the major challenge the party has to address is the interest of incumbent constituency executives who have interest to seek re-election, serving as members of the election committee members. That's where the machinations come.
Well, for sitting executives are not eligible to be members of the elections committee. We a sitting member, executive, we a secretary, and also we a organizer. Now, who praise will be contested Biuma, you are not eligible to be part of the elections committee.
You are not eligible.
Yes, you are not eligible because the guideline you issue here first. I say, if you have interest to contest for polling station, you cannot be part of the polling station election committee. If you have interest to contest for electoral area, you cannot be part of the polling station election committee. If you have interest to contest for constituency executive, you cannot be part of the constituency, the polling station elections committee. And it doesn't come in. But interest in here, we all know incumbency, and that is why they've called something incumbency. Is the advantage or people use incumbency? You cannot take it away. Incumbency in free. But you must put the process to be fair. And that is why during the presidential elections, Mebaha, before the presidential elections, Antina Mika said, Maba. Mika will say, me neutral. Because I have a casting vote. My country of Ewaha, yeah. Me say me neutral. Me were casting votes. But what is important for me as a leader, I should be fair to the pro. I should be fair. I should establish a sincere platform, equitable platform, transparent platform for the elections. That is the holding factor. And those say omu contest, they cannot be part of the committee. So it's out. But for the interest, it will be difficult to take away the interest. But there are instances, nipa bi mu ha, omu the album in the previous ones, omu the book no ma omu say omu control the polling station executives emra. Omu control di no buy no. Omu lose a poto. Even some of them didn't even get 5% of the votes when they contested for parliamentary primaries. Yes.
Prof,
for the sensitivity of it, can be budding. Because it's there, some of the consciences are there, even in Ashanti region here, at the heart of Kumasi. Some people develop their albums, but they develop albums as MPs. They were MPs. They developed the album without anybody. They didn't invite anybody, but they went and scored third in the election. So you can use your interest, but the people's mind might change, and they will decide something different. So for interest, we can only work to improve it, but we cannot take it away completely.
All right. What if the Mamenkika messages do Bumuna Afi Brebuna yen wrap up with a contest no na bisa e be advice for a year but when you say hello, good evening, KK. I want Prof to clear this for me. I was staying at a particular electoral area and have moved to another electoral area in the same town. Where can I contest? But I still have my vote at the old electoral area. Ajiman Edifree, a year name.
I'll be very brief about it, so that we can ignore that.
Okay.
Move, who move, you vote, and I say who move physically.
Okay.
Who vote ekohodia, who bet me a contest ewoho. One move vote ekoho, now who move physically ekoho. Then, because of the residing factor in the electoral area, you have moved and you are not more there, so you have been moved.
Okay. You have moved, so you are not
moved. Yes.
All right. And I smell the free Ebuakwa, or say similar to my Ebuakwa Menshia, or say similar to my electoral area at Chuma Menshia. we have individuals who live in Menchia Old Town and are registered in a specific location, such as DKC, within the same electoral area. That's Achuma Menchia. If someone wants to become a polling station executive in Menchia Old Town after moving from Old Town to DKC, is that possible for them? I don't know whether you understand the question.
I understand. Me Abia, the Menchia Old Town in New Town, it is in one electoral area, but the place of residence in Nkansah. Okay. But the person was still voting in Menchia Old Town. It is like with the vetting committee to determine say Jumana Obeyeno at that particular polling station all electoral activities of the individual who yene ewo New Town and I say Old Town. And the vetting committee baby sir. The answers are obey the AMA vetting committee. That will be the qualifying factor.
And quick one, this one says, please KK, is there any date set aside for someone who could not get the opportunity to register during the period under review to register? August the phrase to
there is no specific date. Date beyond those who were denied access to register or more register online. So if you are denied access to register, try as much as possible to register online. If there's going to be a decision to add those on online, then your name.
That's to say validation also about still polling station or what happens then?
Validation.
Yeah. You can say be register online and still so we didn't call criteria.
Yes. So because you are denied access to register at the polling station in the book, you went to register online.
Yeah.
So if the issues come up at the time of the elections, then there may be a decision by the regional steering committee to say that okay, let's add those who registered online, who were refused to register inside the book, and that is fair for me. That is fair. You cannot flout the rules of the National Council just because you think that you are mafia, and because of that, my man that is not fair.
All right. It's Bakai 3 Penafi Yakobe final, you know, Suna Yakoya, the messages no dos, but answers no crowd, but I think say answer relocation, my own relocation, yeah, it's been said no answer don't want idea. Isaac the free a futu Bodiase. Also, please, I want to know if you contest for a coordinator position after you have resigned as a polling station officer and you lose, can you come back to take your position as a polling station officer again?
You cannot eat your cake and have it. You've resigned. Why resign?
All right. And Prof Wahakeke, I went to my polling station to write my name, but they wrote my name in an exercise book. They told me they will call me, but no one has called me. I'm Vivian from Bebu, and I have this one that says that good evening. The current members of parliament should be talked to. If not, their plans regarding this polling station executives would hurt the party during the general election. Offensive North is a case study. The posture of the current MP behavior towards all polling station executives is not the best. Our party cards are still with him because we did not vote for him. Well, sorry, my name, please, the decision should be clear before writing the names. You can contest and vote if you are staying in that area. Please, can you go to electoral area without being a polling station? Blah, 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 blah. Anthony. But, Prof,
yes.
Aka few moments na ya sorry Jumedi no so. Enche abatuo na ewo yedim contest no ewo wo yedima ya kono kakran. Na abatuo enso badia. We been a presidential, you know, one party and as a members na na one party. But we the way yes, and now advice by and out the Bama a party for going forward and now because ye per se ye bayena abatwa kakra and ya took a see area na see how dear no so ya na metu macau and foot your bay and now the Bama party for 80 and then
Ansana me beko hono just respond to one of the questions. Obi a omochiro on din ewo exercise book no, they will transfer it. They don't need to call her. They will transfer it to the main book. That is why I say my friend. So Vivian transfer alcohol UTA. That is the response. Yes, yeah, call for elections, polling station, electoral area, constituency, region, up to national, your team simply be more kasa, be more be service. Oh, Haruna, oh, co-position be na because oh, maybe the position no, and elected position. Na you were Justin Kudia from form or no, na share me bo because he's going to tell my father, he's late now, that he wants me to be his deputy.
Oh, okay.
Obe kanchan me papa no ne wo a YDC in Yendi. That was the former vice president's wife's funeral. So now o kanchan say o pese bano e ya ne deputy or we we are. Enti media no e appointment. Enti in your elections. But me boss ko and I'm solidly behind my boss. Because of the results are on here. My teacher nipa be so eba. The advice for persons are contesting for elections at any of the levels should be very sincere. And somehow we can let honesty follow it. Let the truth follow it. Because my teacher will be more maturity, political maturity, and I say the person who be contested for position of any that nature ultimately political maturity. The best political maturity is to be honest, is to be sincere, is to be able to keep what decisions has been taken, even if you have a dissenting view. You don't come out openly to say you are against it. And that is the best political maturity. And Mate, because I'm from the secretariat of the party, Mate say obia Kwaku kase na or the insurance be ba or friend group personal accident policy. It was an insurance policy. Now some artificial body a blockade sa particular agenda enyana kre. It is not true. Obi edi baye. Because this is an internal matter, so that's why I want to clarify. Yes, and if you indulge me, specifically, it's a national treasurer. Or say, as part of his work, and because a person contesting for general secretary or can nema bibria enyana kre. But I want to clarify this matter. Maybe nipa bidin ubet cross check it because I know say to me a credible station. Very credible, which may your research I find out. Some particular policy the general secretary is the CEO. You don't just send any policy to National Council or NEC. You have to defend those particular policy. AMPA or the policy be by that policy was group personal accident policy. The general secretary gave it to a committee headed by Dr. Kingsley Ajiman, MP for Eduakwa South, who was the chairman. And Honorable Abna Osei Asari, former Minister Finance, former Minister of State Finance, Ama Frimpoma, lawyer, former CEO for SIC Insurance, Nana Aje Bewa Bafo Ewa Muamudishie, and then lawyer Gary Nimako, Omumensa lawyers. 3 of them are lawyers. And now, the credibility and I said the credentials of the chairman were a chartered insurance banker. He's chartered. He has worked throughout his life in insurance company. Abena a chartered accountant and a chartered insurance. Ama a Juma as a so omunina a insurance persons. Omunim in terms of law. This committee the report by say, oh, as a political party such as MPP, no, we don't need to go for group personal accident policy. It's just one accident, one. We have to go for group life insurance policy. Life, no, na accident, no kaho. It can be. So you must go for the whole, not the part. So that recommendation, then the general secretary took that recommendation to the National Council, not even NEC. Yes, and National Council, Eka said, at this particular moment, what has been suggested by him and what has been recommended by the committee, then the National Council need time to look at it. And that was why I said we are implementing what the committee brought and also what the National Treasurer brought. And there is one thing in our party constitution. You see, the Finance Committee Omu doesn't take decisions on behalf of the national party. They bring recommendations. So Obi Bonte Abaka said the finance committee took a decision and then the general secretary blocked it. The general secretary doesn't have a power to block decisions of a structure. But a decision of a committee, such as the finance committee, is not a decision, it's a recommendation. So as a general secretary, as a vice chancellor, as a CEO, as a managing director, you must interrogate the decision and sign an Odiko board meeting. So it was not feasible. It couldn't stand. And the reasons are that Omu heard the industry practice. Omu heard the scope of coverage. Yet also, life is more important. And in life include accidents. So that was why it is entirely not true that somebody, Lawyer Justin Kodia is a decent man. And he follows the structure and knows the structure very well. And me jinaha na meka yen through competition. Yeah, they yen through competition. The first time here the whole front they were against us. We were able to break the barriers and won the election through competition. Obia opese on compete with Lawyer Justin Kodia Omra. You have a contest, but you have a fun in about the party because la ye bida. Now, because be effective when you armchair treasurer, Mr. The whole of 4 years no 1 year any fundraising Emma party. Even election year, there is no single fundraising by the national treasurer. So 1 year national fundraising, another 1 year fundraising, even constituency, nothing. Then what else were you doing? I'm chair treasurer. But Justin Kodia from Pong, 5 northern regions, no. In northern region, we went to Sanargo, went to Tamale North, and from there, you call Upper East, you call 5 constituencies in Upper West. But in Upper East, you fair all the conflict zones, in one particular place. Then we went to Navrungo Central. We went to Navrungo, went to Bolga Central. Then in Upper West region, we went to 4 constituencies. At some point in time, around 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. again, we are moving out. In Northeast region, all the places that we went with Lawyer Justin Kodia from 4, we need. So in all the 5 northern regions, and in other regions, Okoye, for the first time, General Secretary, want now Kujesu, not all call round to all constituencies and down to police stations. Lawyer, Waye Juma, Wapu Juma.
Justin.
Me pese me njinaha. Na Ashanti Region 4, na me damwase. Because Ufa youth organizer, MIA, as a CEO, and from then, or buyer as general secretary, Wapujuma, or Nkansah, or procedure, or process structures in Juma. Till the end of my life, I will support Lawyer Justin Kodia.
Wow.
Become the general secretary again.
Wow. Wow. And so the deputy general secretary of the NPP and the support Justin Frimpong Kodia echi wutuso odono feeling no deep na prof and I say Alhaji Haruna Muhammad and o studio hadom and eyubre ebia ya time no aswa no na medim there my former friend Cascade betrase Cascade my former friend betrase na ma for ehu my former friend no na bikobi man kabi there na yemfa
diwe there
my former friend the day kra bo say bia bi dia pa o so the day kra say eyo wusu say yo Cascade yi
mene Victor say pokuna keso ozu pokuna usually ana tawo to tako enyene
na promo to say
nyame adomina
yeah da yabe ase and the deputy aka nsamu p na Cascade so obeko regional communications director Empredo Edruha but the deputy general secretary aka SMP then now the beka ona yakwakofa no si akase
medawase machia chief na mi ahwefo in no kwe wo mu ni se parts, as part of restructuring, when you fought to Tunama Degree, and in adding to the year Minia Penny kind, JFK has done what every reasonable leader is supposed to do. I have no doubt in my mind that JFK will be maintained as the General Secretary. In these trying moments, we need the likes of JFK. Sometimes, even not sometimes, I brought name of a day. Sir, the very sober, reflective leadership, and it's me glue the party together. It will be in the midst of the turbulence. Now, some back up a canoe, I come. And many JFK from the days of youth organizer all to this time. If I'm to vote for more 10 votes, bring a major. If say me regi become one be here, me regi account the major. So, and I'm sure, deep in my thoughts, say the person really 2028. The kind of leadership I hear in a general secretary, JFK is the one to provide that. And I'll share me bunu ye nante ye movie obi on my friend say Kwame ba ne nkoye MPP adwuma ba dwi hu tutu JFK friend madam nya no enya me nkwa make asase mi enya me nkwa make asase mi. And I can promise you say the force from Ashanti region better nechi enya ono nkwa echi because oba be sum Dr. Baumia and whoever becomes the running mate force e ba beta o mecha mo adwuma na aso no say omo wa Accra ye wo Kumasi a Ombeto Majuni, say Kumasi, everything is okay. We are going to make sure so we do our utmost best. Because 2028, you mean you have our nature, Dr. Baumia. And I believe say, most of the youthful guys are or more regional, they will tell you the same thing. And I believe my colleagues will jab Bamonia this, other regions, they are thinking the same way. We are all poised. Near a third party for the best starting polling station about 2 in April. Yama, Emu, and Naho. Nenye deal. I in some interested woman, but interested woman says Ukuma we are only Nambia, while I'm in Okuna. A do bresse a Diana's a Namnasan, Obajina Mufrabe. Best Yama Bibia Munaho. The co-elections and part Makasa won't say do whatever you have to do, but we show some winning and a really feel the group interest. Nay, we are party unity in Cameroon. Now you pushy or snow. Dr. Baumia Sono. And make sure 2028 because then this is for you. Young winning election is young. They are messing up too much. Omonto kwan cross be so e be kesi achen here.
Na double.
Omonto kwan be kesi achen here. And I'll share me coso from LGBT sensem, cocoa sensem, cost of living coso, and trial moody, any jandam bakumi, corruption coso. It is so serious. Or more mudina and maybe so to mind this will bring any say. It's all incumbent on us. Promises on we are teachers, we have automatic posting, nurses, you have automatic posting. They don't buy my agenda 24-hour economy 133. Nina, and I will be saying this MC be recently said. Muslim Baba Bay 24-hour economy. In Muhammad Jin Kessi, Muslim Baba Bay 24-hour markets. Now 24-hour markets, Musi we are. And Yamana would be good market or more of free heifer. If you China never buy. So indirectly, over 10 cities, more 10 cities are, and more 8 cities are China. So in practical sense, but John Mahama, a year 24-hour economy in China, and Ghana. But can you know, say, come back as someone. I'm saying to my trade minister, and consultants, you know, one must have basic logic. We don't have first year policy students. A very basic, but the point I'm making is, and this are away John Mahama, won't be creative, you might be a movia. Or buy a year, you're in a brother, or will be any young. On one car said, and I do, and any brothers in the family is areas, yes, into the question is, and no, no, so yanana.
That's a casket, doctor, or a doctor, casket, Usupuku. Hey, and come here for title. In Africa, we don't joke with our titles. In Africa, we don't joke with our titles. Hey, former friend in Tiana, the doctor, Dr. Cascade Usupuku, and what's in, yes, Dr. Cascade Usupuku, Uflo, yes, but a former friend. Deputy, where there I just have the time class. I saw. And you better was it. Why? You better was papa say also there were bad a year same. We wish you nothing but the best. Together with a adjusted frame point good year. Baby Biaro will be also ye chiano and you bring. Tibeda was me. Why? Dr. Keskin, Usubuku.
Mammy Nipa Bako.
Meeting pa.
The original chairman. Chairman would to me.
Chairman would to me. Me that say.
Me make couple for man. Make couple for manual. No.
Me that say papa. Enti ya the best ya dia kwa kwa fado nsia kase ebo yame eya adomo ochina no